In case you missed me yelling at you at the beginning, there are spoilers ahead for the Obi-Wan Kenobi series, Episode 5, and anything previous to that. So, you have been warned. Alright, still here? Let's go on. Just a few hours ago, the Episode 5 for the Obi-Wan Kenobi series dropped, and man, it's a doozy. A doozy. Did I really say that? Sound like my grandpa. Yeah, my grandpa was a good man, so I don't mind sounding like him. Anyways, moving on. First, before we start, I will admit that I was wrong. Yes, I was wrong. I'm allowed to admit that because I'm like that. I don't mind when I'm wrong. In fact, I'm kind of happy when I'm wrong because it makes a story not predictable. What I was wrong about was Reva reading Obi-Wan Kenobi's mind back when they first got into their first little, I don't know, banter, I guess you'd call it, where he was pinned on a rooftop, she was hiding on a rooftop, she was trying to draw him out and said that Anakin was still alive. It looked like to me that she had read his mind. Guess not. Maybe she still did, but that is not how she found out Anakin Skywalker is Darth Vader. But I will hold on to that same theory because she did read his emotion when she told him Darth Vader was alive. Oh, you didn't know. Anakin is still alive. He didn't say a word. She had just read his emotion. But at the same time, yes, I was wrong about her finding out Anakin was Darth Vader through her reading Obi-Wan Kenobi's thoughts. And that's okay, I'm fine with that, but I was still right about a couple things, like she was the little girl in the Jedi Temple, the youngling. But that wasn't hard to guess. Everybody pretty much guessed that, so okay. But I do want to give a shout out to good old Star Wars Theory. You got what you wanted. You got to see Anakin slashing up younglings. Congratulations. I'm happy for you. The scene wasn't as bad as I thought it would be, so congratulations. Now, I will say that I think Star Wars Theory's intentions for wanting that scene was a little different than what we got in the show. I think Star Wars Theory wanted to see the Anakin flashback. He wanted to see Anakin lightsabers whoop whoop in Order 66 and so on and so forth. We did see that, but it wasn't for the intention of an Anakin Skywalker backstory. It was a Reva backstory. And it made a lot more sense in the Kenobi series, being that we got some background to Reva. Now, she just got a lot cooler. Wait, don't run away. I know a lot of people can't stand Reva, but she did get a lot cooler. She went toe-to-toe with Darth Vader, kind of held her own. Not really. He was just toying with her, playing around with her, but, you know, that shot to the stomach, she took it like a trooper. Now, all these pieces of the puzzle were put together in this episode, and we saw that Reva is not just trying to capture Obi-Wan Kenobi. She's trying to use him as bait to distract Darth Vader to kill Darth Vader. Now, I don't know why I didn't see that coming. Usually I'm a little more intuitive than that, but it's good that I didn't see it coming because I was like, oh, cool. That's a pretty nifty idea, even though she's going to fail because we know Darth Vader's in A New Hope and she is not. Obi-Wan Kenobi is in A New Hope and Reva is not. All along I knew she isn't going to make it. You know, even if there is a season 2 to the Obi-Wan Kenobi series, she's not going to make it. And it seems like Darth Vader's been playing her all along. And so has the spoiler, Grand Inquisitor. The original Grand Inquisitor. The one that I said, you know, he didn't die because he's in later episodes of Star Wars Rebels, approximately 5 years after this point. And Dave Filoni is not going to retcon his own character, his own creation. Told everybody this, and everybody's still screaming and shouting, Dave Filoni retconned the Grand Inquisitor, Disney doesn't know what they're doing, their stories are wrong, and blah, 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 blah. Okay, you can stop now. The Grand Inquisitor is still alive. Spoiler. Sorry. And I want to give another shout out to everybody that said this series is not about Obi-Wan Kenobi, that it is about Reva. Incorrect. It is very much about Obi-Wan Kenobi. Just because he has a third of the screen time does not mean the story is not about him. It is very much about Obi-Wan Kenobi. Reva's trying to get Obi-Wan Kenobi. Darth Vader's trying to get Obi-Wan Kenobi. Bail Organa is trying to help Obi-Wan Kenobi. Obi-Wan Kenobi is trying to rescue Leia, and now he has to rush back to Tatooine to guard over Luke. Very much an Obi-Wan Kenobi-centric story. Now I can hear everybody screaming already, but he doesn't have the screen time, but he's only on screen a third of the time, but okay. Fair enough, but let's put that into perspective. Let's go back to The Empire Strikes Back. That's a 124-minute long movie. That's 2 hours and 4 minutes. The movie is very much about Luke Skywalker and Darth Vader and their relationship. But let's put that into perspective. Luke Skywalker had 34 minutes, 45 seconds of screen time in The Empire Strikes Back. 34 minutes. Okay, out of 124 minutes, that's another 90 minutes without Luke Skywalker. Darth Vader had 13 minutes, 15 seconds in that movie. But guess what? Their spirits were ever present the whole time throughout the movie. They didn't have to be on screen to know that this was about them. And the same thing with the Obi-Wan Kenobi series. He doesn't have to be on screen the entire time to know that this series is about him. So moving forward, let's look at another aspect. We did get a nice other flashback of Obi-Wan Kenobi training Anakin in lightsaber combat. And even then, Anakin still had the Padawan braid and a little ponytail in the back, his rat tail or whatever you want to call it. Even back in his Padawan days, he was showing too much aggression for a Jedi. He was showing too much in the form of wanting victory. And this scene is very much significant to the story of the arc between Obi-Wan Kenobi and Darth Vader. They were both experiencing this flashback at the same time, remembering it. And Darth Vader's remembrance of it, he was victorious, and Obi-Wan Kenobi was a failure. And Obi-Wan Kenobi's memory of it was that Vader was still, or Anakin at the time, was still too aggressive and didn't think through his actions, and it caused him to lose the battle. And I'll probably do another video just on the flashbacks later on. But at the same time, we got more choreographed dance lightsaber fighting. So, prequel fans, rejoice. Yay! You guys got what you wanted. And I'm not saying that I didn't want it. I'm just saying that the brutal fighting style was more my taste. I didn't dislike this. There were some cringy moments in this episode, I will not lie. Like you got 100,000 stormtroopers standing outside and they're just waiting for one cannon to blast a door down. I mean, they could have all been working on that, and Reva just walks up and pops the lock with her lightsaber while she's talking to Obi-Wan Kenobi. Why didn't she do that in the first place? She'd have got him off guard. She'd have got him quicker than what she did. So to me, that didn't make much sense, but you know, it worked for the overall drama of the story, and that's what they're going for. They're going for the drama. They're going for the soap opera style. And if you guys don't know that, that's what George Lucas based Star Wars on, was a space opera about family. And if you know anything about operas like soap operas, then you'll know there's overacting and there's over dramatization and there's just hands waving about and flailing. It's kind of like anime. And we all know how much I love anime. But yeah, there are some cringy moments in this, but I think the Darth Vader Reva duel was definitely worth it. The end result was definitely worth what was happening, because I just wanted to see her get stabbed, and it happened, and I'm happy about that. Yay, rejoice. Is she dead? No, but she's going to show up on Tatooine, possibly threatening Luke, or just trying to meet up with Obi-Wan Kenobi again, saying, okay, dude, you were right. You know, I couldn't do it alone. Thought I couldn't. I need your help. But she may not. She may just want to kill Obi-Wan Kenobi, because she still has that little bit of twinge in her that thinks Obi-Wan Kenobi let the younglings down at the Jedi Temple. She even said, where were you? You were supposed to be protecting us. He was your Padawan. You should have beat him. You should have sliced him up and diced him and all that. But what she doesn't realize is that, you know, he tried, not before the purge of the Jedi Temple, but he did try. At the time of the purge of the Jedi Temple, Obi-Wan was trying to run for his life on Utapau with his clones turning on him. I mean, all he had to say was, I had my issues going on too, lady. Back up. There are a lot of things I can make videos on about this episode, and I probably will within the next week. I'd like to release them slowly just so I don't overload you guys with content. But this episode, was it the best episode of the Obi-Wan series? No, but I will say that it's probably the most emotional of it. Between the flashbacks of Anakin Skywalker and Obi-Wan Kenobi dueling as Anakin's a Padawan, and the flashbacks of Order 66 and the Jedi Temple with Reva getting stabbed then in the gut and then stabbed now in the gut, you kind of feel bad for the girls. So there's a lot of emotion at stake. You even see emotion on Darth Vader's blank, expressionless face. You see, there's emotion there when he's about to get Obi-Wan Kenobi. There's a lot more emotion in this episode. So for that factor, I'd have to give it an 8.5 out of 10. I can't give it a full 9 because there are those cringy moments that I said. I mean, like when they bust in and everybody's sitting there waiting for the door to open before they can take off in the transport. Okay, well, that's cool. But why aren't you already on the transport before the door opens? Instead, they wait for the door to open, then they load all their stuff into the transport. Nah, be ready. Get the hell out of there. Quit sticking around. Darth Vader's coming, and he does this cool thing where he stops the transport. Well, it was a decoy transport, but he stops it, pulls it down, rips it apart. That was neat. So that alone, I mean, that gives it 8.5 stars right there. But let me know what you think in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you guys. What'd you think of this episode? What were the cringy moments? What were your favorite moments? This is Gerald from Star Wars Fanatics signing off, wishing you all great health, happiness, and peace. Thank you for watching, and remember, this is the way, the only way.